This Family Life News podcast is made possible by the support of listeners like you.
Next on the 5 o'clock report.
Sanctuary cities are now our priority.
I don't think you have a right to have a mask and snatch people off the street.
We don't know how close these two aircraft came.
I've become the therapist in chief.
Free pretzel at Wetzel's Pretzel. Apple pie from Popeyes. A Baja Blast Freeze at Taco Bell.
Now, let's go to the newsroom.
Good afternoon and welcome to the broadcast. I'm Family Life News anchor Sarah Harnish. There were verbal fireworks at a press conference today from the Trump team responsible for deporting illegal immigrants. Border czar Tom Homan said, "If you're a sanctuary city, we're coming for you."
Sanctuary cities are now our priority. You don't want to let us into jail to arrest a bad guy in the safety and security of a jail. You want to release him into the street, which makes it unsafe for the community, makes it unsafe for the officer, makes it unsafe for the alien.
This after two people are being held in connection with the weekend shooting of an off-duty border officer in a New York City park. New York, the largest sanctuary city. That gunman was here illegally despite an extensive criminal history. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem.
Make no mistake, this officer is in the hospital today fighting for his life because of the policies of the mayor of the city and the city council and the people that were in charge of keeping the public safe. They refused to do so.
The border officer is expected to survive. Now to Los Angeles. LA Mayor Karen Bass did an interview with ABC over the weekend saying ICE agents have no right to wear masks while making arrests.
I'm sorry, I don't think you have a right to have a mask and snatch people off the street.
The ABC anchor pressed her further, asking if Bass feels Californians are safer without criminal illegal aliens crossing the line into her state.
Look, go back to Joe Biden again, okay? There was hundreds of thousands of people crossing that border. Right. When you look at that border today, is there anything good you think the administration has done in these 6 months at the border?
Well, I will heap praise on the administration for the first 6 months in Los Angeles with the fires. If you ask me, is there anything that they have done good in terms of immigration? I don't know. I don't think so.
There has been a dramatic decline in border crossings since Trump took office 6 months ago. U.S. Border Patrol saw the lowest number of apprehensions in decades. 18 states are banding together to ban ICE from wearing masks in their state. The battle between the Trump administration and Harvard University is playing out in a courtroom today. Harvard angry that Trump froze $2 billion in federal grants because they did not protect Jewish students on campus. CBS reporter Katrina Kaufman.
Harvard specifically says that there is a timeline here. They want a decision by September 3rd because they say when the government first issued a letter terminating federal grants, that began a clock of 120 days, and they're worried that once that money stops coming in completely, they will never get it back.
The Trump administration says the cash is coming from them, and they have the right to decide where it will go if institutions fail to protect American citizens on campus. The body of a 9-year-old girl has been found in upstate New York near the Vermont border. Her father was taken into custody this morning. State Police Major Christopher Gilroy says the dad who reported her missing is now charged with murder.
The investigation has determined sometime after Melina's phone call with her mother and before Monsieur Fratolin's 911 call, he allegedly murdered Melina and left her body in a remote area where she was later discovered by law enforcement.
Police saying his story didn't add up. There was a close call in the sky last night. A pilot had to make an aggressive maneuver with a Delta jet over North Dakota to avoid colliding with a B-52 bomber.
You probably saw the airplane coming at us.
80 people were on that plane. The pilot making this announcement once they were safely on the ground.
Sorry about the aggressive maneuver. It caught me by surprise. This is not normal at all.
CBS's Chris Van Cleve has more.
The FAA says it is still trying to gather more information about what happened here. We don't know how close these two aircraft came. It was a SkyWest regional jet flying for Delta. The captain said it was close enough that he worried that passengers may have seen the other plane, that B-52, coming at them. The flight landed safely in Minot after being cleared for approach by the tower, but performing a go-around when another aircraft became visible in their flight path.
No one was seriously hurt. Two left for the left. Democrats Democratic leaders are panicking in the Empire State after the rise of socialist Zohran Mamdani. He won the primary and is running to become the next mayor of New York City. Governor Kathy Hochul said Sunday she's counseling Democratic leaders across the state.
I've become the therapist in chief, it seems. So saying, everybody, we're going to be okay. Maybe it's the mom in me. I know how to calm down situations, and we'll get through this.
Hochul says she's already planning to block Mamdani's Tax the Rich plan if he wins office. His policies include free buses, free childcare, city-owned grocery stores, freezing the rent on apartments, and this.
When we talk about defund the NYPD, the entirety of the push is defund the NYPD and refund all of these different social services and things that actually create safety.
The 2025 New York City mayoral election is set for November 4th. Pennsylvania Power. There was a huge energy summit in the Keystone State last week. President Trump and Josh Shapiro on the same stage. Here's a sampling of what happened in that room.
We have to drill, baby, drill. And we have to build, baby, build. We have to keep, building new power, new energy.
We need homegrown Pennsylvanians to be doing this work, and we need investment from all across the country and all across the globe. We do not want China to beat us in this AI race. This is one of the most important national security questions we have.
We have shale, we have oil, we have natural gas. We have the capacity to drive the AI revolution in America. China does not. China is opening a new coal plant a week and trying to get us to close a coal plant a week.
More than 20 companies are investing in Pennsylvania. This was the inaugural Pennsylvania Energy and Innovation event in Pittsburgh, recognizing the Keystone State as a national leader in energy production in the U.S. And cyclists took over the Buffalo Skyway Sunday with more than 1,500 bicyclists riding through Lackawanna, downtown Buffalo, and the Outer Harbor to promote cycling and safer streets. Organizer Kevin Hefferman spoke with WGRZ.
We are trying to build a healthier community. First of all, you're getting your exercise in, but also a more connected community. You don't build a safe community and a strong community behind windshields and on keyboards. You do it when people are out walking and biking and saying hello to each other. So that's what people here stand for, and that's the kind of city and region that they want to see.
It was the 11th annual Sky Ride hosted by Go Bike Buffalo. Still to come in the 5 o'clock report, how God reveals himself through food, a brand new book out, and the guy that has cracked the code on getting free food on your birthday. Those stories after weather with Kevin Williams.
Here is your Family Life regional weather forecast. For the night tonight, mainly clear, comfy, cool. Low temperatures will range from around 60 near the shores of Lake Erie and Lake Ontario to the upper 40s in some rural valleys of the Twin Tiers, where there'll be some patchy late-night fog. For tomorrow, sun, mixed clouds, delightful, highs in the 70s, sunny, warmer on Wednesday with high temperatures then in the 80s.
Thank you, Kevin. Our guest is former Penn State nutritionist Dr. Rebecca Corwin. She's speaking to Family Life's Bob Price about her new book, Arise and Eat, How God Reveals Himself Through Food. Here's some of their conversation.
If you're looking to lose weight, this is not that book.
No.
If you would, just explain a little bit what it's about.
Right. So this book is actually about how God reveals himself in food, how God uses food metaphors from Genesis to Revelation to point us to faith in his son, Jesus Christ. He built this into the Jewish feasts and their festivals to help the Jewish people understand that Messiah was coming. And so we look back now as Christians and we can see this symbolism, and it's startling how rich it is.
Yeah.
So God has been doing this for eons to let us know that in the Old Testament that Jesus was coming, and now to encourage us in our faith, to deepen our faith, and to spread the good news, to let the living water of life pour through us, not just to us, but through us to other people. So that's really what this book is about, is diving into some of the Jewish customs and culture with a good dose of humor sprinkled throughout, and helping Christians understand how this symbolism affects their lives today.
Yeah. I love a quote I think you said to a recent podcaster: God uses food to teach us not so much how to eat, but to teach us who he is.
Exactly.
And you used the example of the Passover, the first Passover, when the angel of death passed over the houses of the Israelis who had to eat unleavened bread. Talk about your original fast food. That was it. But if you want, just talk about some instances, Dr. Corwin, from the Bible where God uses food to teach us who he is.
Okay, very quickly then, from the Old Testament classic example, matzah. This is what the Jewish people started making to help them remember that quick escape they had to make from Egypt when they didn't have time for their bread to rise. So they started making matzah. And we're on a radio, so I can't show you a piece of matzah, but it's flat, it's crushed, it's pierced, and from the baking process, it comes out very often striped. It's unleavened, which means it has nothing in it that would make it puffed up to cause it to rise. Yeah. And so it's pure. What a representation of our Savior. It's right out of Isaiah 53.
Amen, yeah.
It's just, he was pierced for our transgressions, and by his stripes we are healed.
Dr. Rebecca Corwin, author of Arise and Eat, How God Reveals Himself Through Food. It's not a diet book, but boy, I tell you, it is life-changing. I've always wondered, how can something as mundane as food draw us closer to God, and vice versa? How can food perhaps drive a wedge in our relationship with our Savior?
How does it draw us closer to God? Well, we all eat. Mm-hmm. It's universal. It's deeply personal. And that's exactly the description of our God. He's universal, but at the same time, he's deeply personal. And I think if we just took time at the beginning of each meal, whatever you're eating, thank God for food, for being able to taste it, for a brain that interprets it as delicious. Just enjoy your food. Use it as a moment of worship.
How can it drive a wedge? I know the Bible talks about gluttony. How can food separate us from God?
Sure.
Can it? Maybe that's the wrong question. Can it separate us?
I think very much so. And I think today that is a risk that we all have here in America, where we live in an environment of food abundance, if you will.
Yeah.
Because we can make food our idol. Kind of becomes the focus of our lives.
That's former Penn State nutritionist Dr. Rebecca Corwin. You can subscribe, listen to, and share this special feature and all of Family Life's original podcasts at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or at familylife.org.
A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Hi, I'm Rob West with today's Faith and Finance Minute. That's an old Chinese proverb, and it's a good one. One step won't get you very far, but step after step after step can take you a good distance. Think about this in regard to your savings. Setting aside, say, $400 a month isn't a huge amount, but after a year, you've saved nearly $5,000. And what if you save $400 a month for 5 years? Assuming just 3% interest, you'd have nearly $26,000. Of course, saving requires discipline. You have to set a goal and follow through just as you would if you were taking a journey of 1,000 miles. You have to start and keep going one step at a time. Manage your finances wisely with the easy-to-use FaithFi app. Download FaithFi, Faith and Finance from your app store, or learn more at faithfi.com.
Coming up on the 5 o'clock report, how many freebies have you gotten on your birthday when it comes to fast food? How about 38 meals in a day? One guy's slaying it. We've got his story next after weather.
I'm Kevin Williams, and here is your Family Life regional weather forecast. Oh, it's going to be a cool night across our region. Open the windows, but you might find yourself reaching for a light blanket late tonight. Temperatures in some areas could dip below 50. Now, the beautiful day is ahead tomorrow. Then the warm-up begins as temperatures soar back to mid-summery levels later this week. For the night tonight, mainly clear, comfy cool. Low temperatures will range from around 60 near the shores of Lake Erie and Lake Ontario to the upper 40s in some rural valleys of the Twin Tiers, where there'll be some patchy late-night fog. For tomorrow, sun, mixed clouds, delightful, highs in the 70s, sunny, warmer on Wednesday with high temperatures then in the 80s.
Thank you, Kevin. Finally at 5, full price is for quitters. One man has cracked the code on how to eat for free all day long on your birthday.
Free pretzel at Wetzel's Pretzels. Apple pie from Popeyes. A Baja Blast freeze at Taco Bell. We got a small orange chicken this year.
There is always a deal that Clint Savatos can help you find. He was just interviewed by the Wall Street Journal and NBC because he's amassed a following of 1 million people on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram by directing them where to go on their birthdays for free food.
This thing is ginormous. Free Whopper at Burger King.
His quest is to break the record for freebies on a single birthday. For this year's big day, this past weekend, Clint made 38 stops at different restaurants.
I had to call in to help for these birthday rewards.
Clint finds the deals all year long, but he only has one day, his birthday, to try them out and make sure that they'll work for you.
It's better when it's free.
Oh, everything's better when it's free. Thanks for all the birthday wishes.
Happy belated birthday, Clint Savatos, the birthday guru. And that's the world that we live in for Monday, July 21st. I'm Sarah Harnish, and this is the 5 o'clock report on Family Life.
Thank you for listening to this Family Life News podcast. If you've been encouraged by what you've heard, please share it with others and click the subscribe button to automatically receive future episodes. Family Life is a listener-supported ministry. Podcasts like this are made possible by your financial partnership. Find out more at familylife.org.